Hurricane Irma reaches Category 4 strength as it moves closer to the Leeward Islands. That's our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Monday, September 4. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Nicole Best. Good evening. Watches and warnings have been issued for more than a dozen Caribbean territories as Hurricane Irma, now with maximum sustained winds near 130 miles per hour, approaches the Leeward Islands. Hurricane warnings are now in place for Antigua and Barbuda, Anguilla, Montserrat, St. Kitts and Nevis, Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Martin, and St. Bart's. A hurricane watch is in effect for Guadeloupe, the U.S., and the British Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico and Dominica. Dominica and Guadeloupe are under tropical storm watch, and its interest in the Dominican Republic, Haiti, the Turks and Caicos, and the southeastern Bahamas have also been advised to monitor Irma's progress. At 5 p.m., Hurricane Irma was located at 490 miles east of the Leeward Islands and moving towards the west at 13 miles per hour. Forecasters say this general motion is expected to continue into Tuesday, followed by a turn toward the west-northwestward late Tuesday. On the forecast track, Irma will move near or over portions of the northern Leeward Islands Tuesday night and early Wednesday, possibly stronger than it is now. Irma is expected to produce total rainfall accumulation of 3 to 6 inches across the Leeward Islands, with isolated maximum amounts of 10 inches across the northern Leeward Islands. Those rainfall amounts could cause life-threatening flash floods and mudslides. The impending storm has forced a delay in the reopening of schools in Antigua and Barbuda. Students were due to return to the classrooms Monday, but the Ministry of Education ordered all public educational institutions closed up to Tuesday because of the evolving uncertainty of Irma's path. Meanwhile, regional airline Liat has advised passengers that its network may be affected as a result of the storm, and passengers who have flights over the next week to islands north of Dominica that may be in the projected path of the storm will be allowed to make changes to their reservations. And Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown is urging citizens not to take Hurricane Irma lightly. He says everyone should do everything necessary to be prepared. Addressing citizens in Barbuda on Monday, Brown said to help protect citizens, his administration is considering imposing a curfew for both islands during the hurricane's passage.
The objective here, or objectives are, is to make sure that one, people stay within the safety of their homes to protect lives and live. And at the same time to ensure, certainly in the case of Antigua where you have no commerce, that there is no looting of businesses. So again, we're seriously considering having a curfew during the period of the storm. But in any event, we want to rely on individuals' responsibility to ensure that they do not endanger their lives, to protect their family members, to assist their neighbors as well, especially the disabled individuals within our communities, to make sure that we provide the necessary assistance.
The National Office for Disaster Services say they have met with all of their stakeholders and have put all of the various agencies on standby. Deputy Director of NODS, Sherrod James, says the agency is in a state of readiness and they are basically finalizing all of their preparations as the storm approaches the sub-region.
Basically, we've been liaising not only with Barbuda because as a sub-regional focal point for the wider Caribbean disaster emergency management mechanism, we also do have some responsibilities to our immediate neighbors, surrounding neighbors. We have been in contact with them, seeing what final preparations they're putting in place and ensuring that our communication network is up and about. So we've touched base with actually all of our sub-regional group members, Anguilla, British Virgin Islands, Montserrat, and St. Kitts and Nevis. So as it is of right now and so on, most everyone is putting their plans in place, putting on the final steps, and we're basically in this present time and so on in a standby mode, waiting to see, based on the movement of the storm over the next 12 to 16 hours, when we would go into activation mode if necessary.
And citizens of the Twin Islands seem to be heeding the warning and bulletins. One store owner in Antigua says, in his opinion, the degree of preparation this time around is way better than before.
Tell you from since mid last week, people have actually been coming in and preparing. And evident to that is we basically have nothing left in terms of lamps and lanterns. We ran out basically yesterday. We had some odds and ends today that were sold out eventually. So I would have to say the level of preparedness, it looks like people, maybe the hurricane in Houston, with all the images they're seeing on television, could have worked in our favor.
Meanwhile, Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the island is preparing for the onslaught of Hurricane Irma. Dominica is not in the direct path of the hurricane, but as you've heard earlier, it has been placed under a tropical storm watch as the island could be affected by the outer bands of the system. At a media brief on Monday, Skerrit said his cabinet had met earlier in the day with officials from the National Emergency Planning Organization, NEPO, and was satisfied that all was being done to prepare for the Category 4 hurricane.
We are very satisfied with the state of preparedness. There are some things that we need to follow up on the various meetings this morning, going into the afternoon, to go over some of the actions and to ensure that from a NEPO standpoint, all of the actions that we can humanly take are taken, or things that we need to put in place are put in place in the event of this storm.
In 2015, Tropical Storm Erica ravaged Dominica, leaving 33 people dead or missing, completely destroying villages and causing close to $500 million in damage. Prime Minister Skerrit says the country is still in the reconstruction phase and can ill afford another such storm. He called on citizens to clean up their surroundings, removing anything that could lead to further damage or destruction.
As the Prime Minister of this country, I am not taking this storm lightly at all. I am not taking the storm lightly at all. And so we have to prepare for the worst. If nothing happens to us, then we go on our knees and thank God for that. But in the event that something were to visit us, we would be in a situation to minimize on its impact. We do not know of its veracity, of its velocity. We do not know of the damage on the amount of rain. 4 inches of rain we get, but when we get more than that, you never know, we get less. But at least the drains will have been cleared, the ravines will have been cleared, the rivers will have been dredged. Our homes will have minimized on the hazards around our homes and around our properties.
Meantime, Bahamian authorities have warned they will aggressively investigate any price gouging ahead of a potential impact from Hurricane Irma. While the country is not currently under any watch or warning, projections indicate it will be impacted by Irma heading into the weekend, and an official government statement warned retailers and wholesalers of essential items, particularly breakfast food items, medical and prescription drug supplies, as well as hurricane preparedness items, that price gouging and hoarding of items for speculation or profiteering in the event of a potential natural disaster are criminal offences. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis has instructed the competent authority to start restrict supervision, review and monitoring of the prices being charged for the items. Still to come in Caribbean Newsline, a plan to beat crime takes effect in one island, while an anti-crime strategy is being formulated in another. We'll give you the details after the break.
The government of Dominica and Discover Dominica Authority welcomes you to the most unique Caribbean island, Dominica. Bursting with life, with energy, Dominica enraptures you in the vibrancy of the 20th edition of the World Creole Music Festival, October 27th, 28th, and 29th. Windsor Park Sports Stadium, Roseau, Dominica. Featuring Marshall Montano, Sweet Mickey, Movado, Kalasha, Bungie and Fayan, Class, Kai, Zuko Stars, Roman Virgo, Itana, Issa Banton, Triple K International, Yemi Alade, Music All Stars, Breathe, Swinging Stars, and more. Be part of the spectacle. This is the World Creole Music Festival, held in the nature island of the world, Dominica. Season tickets US 125 or 325 EC. Nightly tickets US 48 or 120 EC. Visit dominicafestivals.com where you will yearn for more. C'est Musicanu.
In a place where legends start, the beach is just the beginning. So live a little for the exhilaration and the color of every moment, where time is and life is a spirited event. Immerse yourself in the culture, the music, the people, the island. Love Antigua and Barbuda. Embrace an experience that leaves you breathless, from cricket to sailing week to carnival and more. Antigua and Barbuda, the beach is just the beginning.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with diabetes? If so, it is important that you know about Glucerna. Glucerna is a nutritional supplement for people with diabetes and contains Carb Steady, which helps minimize blood sugar spikes. Manage your diabetes with Glucerna. Glucerna, nutrition for people with diabetes, designed for you.
Make Jamaica safe again. That's the main objective of a new crime fighting initiative of the Andrew Holness administration. It's called the Zone of Special Operation, and it gives the Joint Armed Forces the legal right to cordon off any area or community suspected of harboring criminals or illegal activities and declaring a curfew for up to 72 hours. During that period, the country's security forces can execute searches without a warrant and confiscate material for evidence against suspected perpetrators, as well as execute arrests. The first zone of special operation announced by Prime Minister Andrew Holness just last Friday was an area in the parish of St. James called Mount Salem.
Zone by zone, community by community, square inch by square inch, we will establish and restore public order, citizen security, and public safety.
He also addressed concerns about the delay in making the announcement, arguing that the groundwork had to be done.
Among the issues that we worked through and addressed were the following: additional training in human rights, the use of force and community development initiatives of persons to be deployed as members of the joint force, registration with the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine of weapons, including the ballistic signature and ammunition that are to be assigned to members of the joint force. Every single weapon that is going to be used within a zone has already been registered with the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine.
Major Godfrey Sterling of the JDF and Superintendent of Police Kirk Ricketts have been designated to be jointly in charge of the operation within the zone. They're expected to report to the National Security Council every 10 days. The Prime Minister also noted that 14 days from Friday, he will make a statement in Parliament. So why Mount Salem?
In 2014, there were 46 murders recorded in Mount Salem and its environs. In 2015, this rose to 70 murders. In 2016, the figure was 85 murders. So far this year, 54 murders have been recorded.
Now, while action is taking place out west, residents in several communities in East Kingston, Southwest St. Andrew and Clarendon have been crying out for greater police military presence in their areas. The Prime Minister's response:
And I want to point out that the zone is but one tool in a suite of tools that are being developed. Some are already being deployed. We are now deploying the zones fully, and others to come. So there are other measures that are being deployed. But the zone is not designed to be a reflex response to flare-ups.
The special zone of operation will be in place for a period of 60 days.
And so far, over 20 arrests have been made in the Mount Salem community. And in Barbados, Prime Minister Frandell Stewart says a series of measures to tackle increasing crime will be rolled out soon. He announced at the 62nd annual conference of his Democratic Labour Party on Sunday that the measures are presently before the cabinet. Stewart says the Royal Barbados Police Force believes the legislative and other initiatives will considerably enhance its capacity to deal with the source. The Prime Minister did not provide details on the measures or when they would be rolled out, saying they would come like a thief in the night. So far this year, there have been more than 24 murders in Barbados compared to 22 for all of last year. Rihanna Phillips of CBC News reports.
Government's plan is geared at ensuring Barbados remains a peaceful society for all. While not revealing its full details, Prime Minister Stewart says law enforcement agencies will be specially equipped.
In the very short term, however, the government is focusing on aggressively confronting the problems, on specially equipping our law enforcement agencies, and on rationalizing the operation of our criminal justice system. The criminal element does not call press conferences or issue releases to announce when or where it will strike next. That criminal element relies heavily on the element of surprise. The state, therefore, in defense of its citizens and of its values, will make use of the element of surprise as well.
With Barbados recording 26 murders so far for the year, Prime Minister Stewart notes the crime situation did not occur overnight, and as such, there will not be an automatic solution. However, Mr. Stewart says there is a role for the society in the anti-crime fight.
Higher standards in our households, better examples in our communities, a more aggressive outreach from our churches, teaching and learning for good citizenship in our schools, and a politics that helps our young people to realize their dreams and their aspirations must replace the high-powered firearm as a symbol of personal power.
And ahead in Newsline Sport, Barbados Tridents miss out on the Caribbean Premier League playoffs. Stay with us. Sport is next.
In a place where legends start, the beach is just the beginning. So live a little for the exhilaration and the colour of every moment, where time is and life is a spirited event. Immerse yourself in the culture, the music, the people, the island. Love Antigua and Barbuda. Embrace an experience that leaves you breathless, from cricket to sailing week to carnival and more. Antigua and Barbuda, the beach is just the beginning.
Do you want a real Barbadian experience with peace and tranquility? A home away from home feeling? Come and stay at Best E Villas. We offer 2 amazing locations to choose from, Prospect St. James or Christchurch. Plan a staycation for your anniversary, birthdays, summer or winter breaks, or any special event. Best E Villas is located in close proximity to our lovely beaches. Call us now at 246-425-9751 or visit us at bestevillas.com and make your booking for the best in villas.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with diabetes? If so, it is important that you know about Glucerna. Glucerna is a nutritional supplement for people with diabetes and contains Carb Steady, which helps minimize blood sugar spikes. Manage your diabetes with Glucerna. Glucerna, nutrition for people with diabetes, designed for you.
Opening batsman Evan Lewis's masterful stroke helped St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots pull off a historic 10-wicket victory Sunday night, ending Barbados Trident's hope of a spot in the playoffs of the Caribbean Premier League. Sent into bat, Tridents posted 128 in their allotted 20 overs. Barbadian Tion Webster hit a top score of 32, while Trinidadian Nicholas Puran chipped in with 21 from 16 balls. Carlos Brathwaite picked up 4 wickets, while South Africa's Tony Shamsi had figures of 2 for 14. Lewis ended unbeaten on 97 from 32 deliveries as Patriots easily chased down a paltry target of 129 in just 7 overs at Kensington Oval to clinch second spot in the standing. Lewis blasted 6 fours and 11 giant sixes, and such was his assault on the Trident's bowlers that partner Chris Gale was reduced to being a spectator, finishing 22 not out from 14 balls. Trident's loss meant Guyana Amazon Warriors sealed the final playoff spot. They faced the Jamaica Tallawahs in the eliminator on Wednesday at the new Brian Lara Cricket Stadium in Tarouba, South Trinidad. On Saturday, the Tridents stunned Trinbago Knight Riders with a thrilling 16-run victory. The hosts were at one point floundering at 62 for 7 in the 10th over. Parnell stepped up to stroke an unbeaten 44 off 35 balls to help the host up to 136 for 9 of their 20 overs. Shamar Springer chipped in with 21, but none of the Tridents' vaunted top order came off as Pakistan leg spinner Shadab Khan led a strong TKR bowling effort with 2 for 13 from his 4 overs.
Toss won by TKR, and immediately they were in trouble. Smith out for North. Beautiful bowling Phillips. Williamson came in his first drop, and then he didn't last long either. Searles bowled a beauty, just moved away and seamed and bounced. And then Nicholas Puran, he started to get into the act. A little bit of luck at times, but I tell you what, he strikes a clean ball and he gets going. McCullum thought he had a chance, he never did. And then Nurse got rid of Nicholas Puran. First ball he faced at Ashley Nurse and disappeared into the changing room. Pollard had to come in fairly early, inside the power play in fact, and he got hold of Nurse. Morgan also there at the crease. There was a mix-up, and in the end Morgan was run out. Crazy. Barnwell lifted one up onto the 3W's roof, and it didn't come back. But then he was out to a googly from Shut Up. The judge, the LBW. Another run out. Shut Up again in the thick of it. And Hussain. Gonski. Pollard as well, thick edge. Caught by his opposite. Brilliant. 62 for 7 at this point. And then Parnell in, beautifully timed and a positive intent, getting hold of Shut Up for 6. And he played really sweetly and with a lot of maturity, and Springer looking every bit as dangerous as well. Fabulous player. Caught in the deep, off DJ Bravo. And Parnell with a late flourish, kept going. And a big moosing 6 from Wahab Riaz. Boundary to Parnell. And a little run out here. 136 is what they got up to.
And in reply, the visitors struggled to find their footing throughout the run chase and subsided to 120 all out with 8 deliveries left.
A couple of nice strokes, and then he hit it straight up. Wayne Parnell was caught by the skipper, Kyron Pollard. Kiwi Monroe didn't last long. He picked out Owen Morgan. Disappeared early. Cullen, as he does, ticks along, and then Parnell with a beauty, yeah, right on the wrist. And that changed the course of the game. McCullum had attention, and he did this. He swatted this into the groundsman shed, and then this happened. Little dab, and he couldn't hold on to the bat, and retired Herb tonight. And the wickets, Darren Bravo caught by Kane Williamson. Smart catch, good judgment of Ravi Rampole. Nearly a catch for Parnell. Ramden came and went. Another opportunity, maybe, just a tip on it. Shut Up. Pollard on fire. Taken by Barnwell. Bravo, he decided to go big as well, and then Robbie Fryland. The crucial wicket of DJ Bravo. Springer got his hair on. Caught by Smith in the deep, and a celebration of note from the young man. Searles came in and does what he does best. Boshes it to all parts. This was simply sensational. Searles. More slashing. And then a crucial wicket of Ashley Nurse, courtesy of Wayne Parnell, his third one. Searles carving it over point. Tried another big hit. Final wicket. Cullen couldn't come back, and it was all done and dusted. 120 for 9.
Trinidad and Tobago drifted closer to elimination from the CONCACAF final round of the 2018 World Cup qualifiers when they conceded 2 early first-half goals to plunge to a 2-1 defeat to Honduras on Friday night. Both sides were reduced to 10 men in the second half, each having a player sent off. Kent Fuentes of C Sport has that story.
The Warriors lined up for an all-important World Cup qualifier against Honduras in front of a crowd of 5,200 at the Arthur Bolden Stadium in Couva. And with victory needed, the Warriors started brightly. Cordell Quito testing the Honduran keeper with a shot from on top of the box. But it was their opponents that silenced the already small crowd at the Arthur Bolden Stadium. Calamitous defending allowed the Hondurans to gather the ball and Alexi Lopez to give his team a 7th-minute lead. 10 minutes later, it was 2-0. Again, poor defending by the Warriors let them down. This time, Albert Lewis accepting the gift presented to him. The Hondurans pressured the Warriors, and John Michael Williams came up trumps, this time to deny them a third. 2-0 at the half to Honduras. At the resumption, the Warriors had the ball in the back of the net, but the goal was ruled off for an infringement. They then came close. This shot by Cordell Quito rolled just wide. Their task became even harder in the 58th minute as substitute defender Alvin Jones was given a straight red card for this tackle. Honduras almost capitalized immediately, with only the upright denying them a third goal. The Warriors were handed a lifeline in the 63rd minute. Emilio Esquire sent off and penalty awarded. Jovin Jones cut the deficit to 1 with this well-taken penalty. Kevin Molino had a lead chance to earn TNT a share of the spoils, but failed to hit the target. 2-1 Honduras, and the Warriors' dream of qualifying for next year's World Cup in Russia almost over.
And that's the sport. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Grow your business or promote your event through the services offered by the Caribbean Media Corporation and Carib Vision. Our distribution provides a platform on cable, terrestrial television, and websites. We cover carnivals and events from across the region. We can bring your event live and alive to the world. For music makers, program producers, businesses, we can expand your reach to in excess of 2 million households daily. Our other services include news updates to enhance your media products, studio space for program and development. We can facilitate the launch of new products and services and training. Contact us and we will help you unleash your creative ability, develop products and services, and provide the medium to watch them grow. Contact Loretta Skeet at cmccaribbean.com or call her 1-246-467-1044 or 1-246-253-3889. Call and book your carnival or event today. Again, the major developments of this day: watches and warnings issued for more than a dozen Caribbean territories as Category 4 Hurricane Irma moves closer to the Leeward Islands. And in sport, Barbados Tridents lose out on a place in the Caribbean Premier League playoffs after a 10-wicket loss to St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, log on to KanaNews.com. We'll be back here again tomorrow. But from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and do have yourselves a good night.